Hello all, and welcome to the retrospective that I talked about. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. Well, reasons why I shall give you a little bit. There's a little hint of irony. I went and picked up Jack's Munchie meal here. And it's kind of like going full circle on this channel for a little bit. Because one of the first videos I did was, spoof off that Jumbaco thing. Commercials they had several years back, in which they inserted Jack's Taco, this little baby right here, into like one of the burgers as a spoof. And so I have, last of my Elijah Craig right here, and 3 final bottles of Anchor Steam beer. It's not all the alcohol I have in the house. I have some Bigfoot that is still aging, and I still have about 1/4 of a bottle of absinthe that I have not reviewed, and which I'll probably review when I return back to reviewing things on this channel, because it'll make a very good thing to go and review once I meet my goals. And what are my goals? Why am I no longer recording reviews and on occasion uploading them to YouTube? Well, the answer, my friends, is I spend quite a bit of time obviously not making the videos because my production values are very low, but drinking and doing research on what I'm drinking, and going out and purchasing and considering what I'm going to be drinking. And I also spend a lot of time shitposting on the internet, which is something I'm not proud of at all, whereas I am somewhat proud of, reviewing so much beer and whiskey and other liquors. And, my original love is, of course, writing. It's the first real creative outlet I ever had. Started back in high school, how many goddamn years ago? Over 2 decades ago. I look young, but I'm actually pretty old. And, I've had things kind of published locally, and published in academic things, but I've never actually been seriously published. And to tell the truth, since I've started doing these liquor reviews, since I started using social media pretty heavily, I haven't written much at all, other than a few poems, a couple short stories that are unfinished, and, handwritten letters to friends and relatives. And honestly, as you kind of notice, I'm not very good at this entire video editing thing. I have very little interest in, editing and making nice-looking YouTube videos, because I just find that so intensely boring, as opposed to just, drinking and talking about things. God damn, that's good beer. Whereas, with writing, I'm actually pretty damn serious about it. I actually do polish things, I actually do edit and rework things quite a bit. I actually do put effort into that, and I'm also good at it, which is something that I'm not very good at. I'm good at making shit posts on social media, but that's kind of like being good at making Hallmark card poetry, Well, even Hallmark card poetry, you can get paid for that. You can't really get paid for shit posting. Nobody gets paid for shit posting. They only get ego benefits. And honestly, if I'm going to go and flatter myself, I want to go and flatter myself as something I'm kind of proud of at the end of the day. And shit posting is not it. So I'm kind of closing most of my social media accounts, as well as stopping the drinking. Until I feel that I have finished and probably published a work that I can be proud of. I'm kind of setting a super high bar for myself, because, how long it takes somebody to actually go and get something published, if at all. There's plenty of people who have been trying for years and haven't gotten anything published. But my bar is a little bit lower. I just want to get back, if it's a local journal, if it's, just an academic journal at the University of Hawaii, well, I'm kind of okay with that too. That counts for me. It doesn't have to be Simon & Schuster, And heck, even self-publishing will do. And so that's that, you know. I can't really devote myself, you know, and I also want to kind of get back into music a little bit, because that's just something so different. Music and dance is something so different from, you know, anything else. And unlike drinking, it's probably something that there is a pretty short time limit on, where I can still learn new things, or I can, in the case of dance, still actually accomplish new things, as I am starting to feel age catch up on me. Part of the reason, another one of the reasons why I'm kind of not doing these drink reviews anymore is because they're starting to catch up on me weight-wise and health-wise. And, you know, it's just kind of time to move on to new things. And, you know, I probably will return to doing drink reviews in a much more limited and a much more balanced manner, as opposed to, you know, doing well over 1,000 reviews in under 3 years, which is pretty much what has happened here. Well, no, not... Well, I wouldn't say over 1,000, but, you know, really a lot of reviews. And because I don't put any effort into editing these, I kind of just go and pile them up, you know? And so, what can I say? Well, it's been a long, crazy ride, as my palate has changed, as I've become a more experienced drinker, which is a good and bad thing, I suppose. But, you know, I chose Anchor Steam for the last thing I'm going to drink, because at the beginning of this long journey, Anchor Steam was my favorite beer, and Anchor Steam still is my favorite beer. You just cannot... It is, you know, the epitome of beer to me. The quintessence of beer, if you will. It's drinkable, complex, refreshing. It really covers all the bases. This is a great beer. And I hope Sapporo does nothing to go and fuck with the recipe. And I am really going to savor these last 3 bottles tonight. So, gee, what else was I going to say? One of the things I'm not quitting, of course, is YouTube, because I actually don't really invest much time into YouTube. I kind of play the music channels in the background. I listen to some political commentary, which I probably won't do myself, because I really like having a apolitical, uncontroversial channel. I have like one political video all the way a long time ago, and it's not even all that controversial, but it just felt so awkward, considering how political my shit posting is, to have a sort of political post on something on my YouTube. And to be honest, that's part of the reason why I'm not shutting down my YouTube, is because it just feels clean, you know? It doesn't feel like it's become unhealthy, whereas shit posting has become unhealthy for me. So, what addictions am I still allowing myself, really, if I'm going to be flat out? Well, I still am going to smoke a pipe or a cigar once a day, which really isn't all that bad when you think about it. And I probably am still going to game a little bit, because I don't really, you know, it's not a huge time sink for me, and I don't really spend money. I think I spent maybe all of $20 in the past 3 years of gaming, mainly because I mostly play retro games, and, you know, mods off of retro games. And that's good enough for me, honestly. Now, to be honest, I'm not going completely dry. I'm probably still going to have a drink or two at family parties or at restaurants. You know, but my chances of social drinking are actually pretty rare. It's maybe about once or twice a month, so it's pretty much a form of abstinence for me at this point, because otherwise I've been drinking pretty much every night. It's just not really a healthy thing, I gotta say. With you know, I'm not a hardcore alcoholic. Let's go ahead and drop the word, but it could easily develop into that sort of problem. And like I said, it kind of gets in the way of other things. So, you know, it has to stop, and it'll stop for a while. Damn, that's good beer. I'm going to miss Anchor Steam, man. But I'm going to miss Anchor Steam, Madeira wine, and Scotch whiskey. Yep. And like, I've done very many Scotch whiskey reviews because it's kind of on the expensive side for me. But, you know, it's been a long, crazy ride. And for the handful of you who have stuck with me this entire time, you know who all 10 of you are, really. As well as all the other random visitors who visited me over the years. I think my most viewed drinking video has over 1,000 views. I believe because I was shared or liked by a very popular review channel. My most viewed video is actually one that I took in Japan off a really crappy old camera. And I think it's become very popular because they do the Kogura dance maybe a few times every year at Ise Shrine, and I think I'm one of the few people that actually recorded it. That one's got like about 10,000 views. Jack in the Box is the worst iced tea though out of all the fast food restaurants, I gotta say though. So yeah, I guess I've kind of run out of things. I wanted to make this into at least 15 minutes. But, you know, what else is there to say? I hope you guys stick around, that you don't go and unfollow me. Because like I said, more things are to come. You know, I will still upload things on occasion. If I can figure out how to kind of work it in. I'm hoping maybe music or dance things. And who knows, really? I might go in another completely different direction. Like, this entire channel, this entire drink review thing started on a whim, really. If you go and look at the beginning, it's basically me. I got like a very expensive bottle of something. I thought, oh, why don't I go and review it? And, you know, after the first couple of reviews, which were gifts to me from friends, what followed were, you know, I went to Tamura's and I saw a bottle of Stonehenge, a beer that I had enjoyed the previous year, and it's like, why don't I go and do a review of that? And it just kind of went on and on and on from there. And, you know, it's been a long, crazy, wild ride, and I believe I probably drank a lot more beers than 99.9% of the population of America. I've pretty much had just about every beer style I can think of at this point. And I think the last one that I ticked off was a smoked beer style. If you want to get extraordinarily specific, I haven't had some of the Slavic styles that aren't really sold, you know, like the Polish style or Russian kvass or anything, but, you know, that's kind of pushing it. All the main popular styles, even some of the obscure ones like alt beers, I've had. And so it seems pretty well, well, I haven't explored whiskeys or the other stuff I've reviewed so much as widely. I kind of covered my main ground pretty well at this point, I would say. So I think I've kind of earned a break at this point. And when I come back, it's going to be, well, I'm not going to say bigger or better because I'm kind of comfortable with a small audience. Small, intimate audience. I kind of feel like Jake Thackeray in that sense, only with alcohol reviews. And finally, I just want to thank you all for watching it. It really means a lot to me that, that I've been able to kind of just talk to you guys And literally, if I could name you all, I would, and I'd still have time to go and kind of fit you all into here. And it's been a great ride, so, you know, thank you. This is not the end, this is a new beginning. I will be back with this kind of content. I will be coming forth with new content. God, I hate the word content, but that's what people kind of use nowadays. And, you know, thank you all, and cheers. It's been a great few years, people. Cheers.